Oh, hey everybody. So I just came. My trails brought me to this weird cabin now. I think this is the crazy one with the mirror, right? And the guy in the mirror. I don't know yet. As soon as I walked in, I just went to camera mode, so I don't think it's had a chance to trigger the guy in the mirror yet. I I'm just gonna investigate this in real time, so people can kind of get an idea of my thought process here. So I just came in. I haven't had a chance to soak it in. Turn the camera on. First thing I'm seeing though is this eagle, because eagles have been a big part of the journey here. So that's interesting. The water is black with venom. The water is black with venom. What's this guy here? That almost looks like the river in New Mexico, right? I'm sure all these newspaper articles are interesting. I don't know how to get those, so it's this one. These are all very different paintings too. Like I wouldn't. It might be by the same artist, but it's definitely at different stages in their skill level. Right? Like that is not. That is a lot better than this deer here. Like look at that. That's like, I don't want to insult anybody, but it's pretty basic. Right? Where the eagle is a little more detailed with the feathers and stuff. Like whereas you'd see his white feathers and all the shading on there. So this, if it's by the same person, I'd say this was painted first, and then this one, and it looks like they're on to some abstract stuff here. I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's interesting though, with the giant leaves there. That's they're trying to say something. There's a blue tree and a green tree, and they're massive. Also, if you look at it too, you see those rocks and that part right there. It makes like a little like a path, like it's directing you to go that way. That's I don't know. That's how I read the painting, guys. Like it's you're coming down, you're following this fence line, and then it leads you to here, which kind of looks like I I don't know how better to explain it, but you see the two rocks on one side, three on the other, and the way it moves inwards, it's kind of suggesting that this is a path to take. Not that it is, but I have noticed other paintings like that too, where they seem to be suggesting to go a certain direction, and that is how some of these directions work in the game. So maybe they're just telling us, hey, that's going to come up. Look out for stuff like this, or maybe this is an actual spot on the map we have to look for. I don't know yet. I'm not that far. But yeah, you see what I mean. So there's a deer that looks more like a child or somebody less skill. Um, okay, that's good. That's the bridge. I just crossed that bridge. That's not far from here. Waterfall. Man, I know there's a painter in the game, but these aren't his paintings, right? Like he seemed like a normal dude. I don't think he had all this skull stuff going on. So again, another eagle. Eagle's wings. Spread eagle. The moon will shine on in the darkness. Okay. I'm looking at the font on this too. So the font's different. So the font at the beginning of the treasure hunt or whatever it is, it's Laszlo and Steve Martin. And people are mixing it up too. Laszlo is God. Okay, that's why his initials are above Steve Martin's. He's God in this scenario, and it's or at least he's the voice of God. My whole theory, you need to know some lore of Rockstar Games. I had to look into it, but you got Dan Houser. I think he was like the dude in charge. And then from what I can kind of piece together from bits and pieces of articles is that maybe Laszlo and Steve Martin were kind of his underlings, and like one's the devil on each shoulder, or the angel and the devil on his shoulders type of thing. So Laszlo would be the angel, and Steve Martin would be the devil. And it is too, because you can tell by the fonts too, guys. So like the eagles, or the bird marks on the fort match the font of Laszlo's name, not Steve Martin's name. So you when you find different symbols, that's how you know who left them too. It's whose uh, signatures on it. Right? And this is neither one. Laszlo doesn't have these like see how the T there? See how that comes down on each side, and it has a little thing on the bottom of the T. Right, little fanciness to it. Neither one of their fonts had that. So this is a totally different person than either of those. So it may or may not, like everything, it may or may not tie in on this journey. Or maybe I've gotten to a point where we've hit like a new person, and maybe I'm about to start following this guy's clues or something. Is that all he's got? Is just the two? Yeah, he's got the two writings. What's on the table here? Just his paint stuff. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, let's see what that is. By Robert B. Thomas. New something and something matter. Robert R. Thomas. I think that's like a sort of like Cupid type figure, angel type figure. Right. I can see his wings. Looks like he's holding a bow and he's naked. He's right in the middle there. If nobody sees that, I don't know. Oh, it actually shows up better on my phone camera than it does in real life here. So yeah, you guys should be able to see that better than me actually. So that probably something. Look at all the symbols here, guys. These are all symbols. This is how they mess with it, right? We got a fiddler, an old naked man with wings, sitting on maybe like a clam or something like that other painting. And you got a fiddler. This kind of reminds me, there's a symbol in Grand Theft Auto. This one kind of reminds me of. It's like a triangle and an eye. Some sort of, yeah. Whatever that symbol is in Grand Theft Auto. I can't remember now, but probably has nothing to do with it. Probably just coincidence. Probably all of this stuff is just red herrings. They don't usually make you scan blurry things on the wall for your clues, but sometimes there are stuff there. That's the other thing too, guys. It's like there's multiple clues on each level, and each one leads different trails, and most of those trails are dead ends. So what ends up happening is I have to backtrack. I hit a dead end, and then I have to start backtracking and step by step. It's not a spider web, eh? Hey, look at that. Spider web. But I have to backtrack step by step by step. Like sometimes I've gone back like 7 steps just to realize I made a mistake and a wrong turn, and I have to start over from there. That's what I was trying to say about the rocks in one of my other videos. Is what you find when you follow this trail is that the directions point in every direction. So you have to deduce which is the right way by going the wrong way. That's what happens a lot of the time. I have to go the wrong way before I can figure out which was the right way. But that's how video games work classically, guys. It's Anybody ever played Dragon's Lair? That's all that game was. You had to know the layout of the game and then keep going. So you'd be like, you get so far and then you'd fall in a pit and then you'd have to start all over, and next time to avoid that pit. But as soon as you avoid that pit, you get hit by a sword and now you're dead and now you have to go all the way back. And but now you get to the pit and to jump over the pit, to dodge the sword, and then boom, you hit a dragon and the dragon breathes fire on you. And now you got to go all the way to the back and keep going, right? And that's bit by bit by bit. And that's what they've done here. But they've given you multiple directions. So that's what I was trying to say with my other video with the rocks and that look like arrowheads. It's you could just get stuck on stuff like that. You could be looking for something, you could be looking for a clue, and then you think like, oh, this points to something, and now next thing you know, you spend like 3 days just following rocks and that go nowhere. And that happens a lot here, right? Like I come into this room and there's all this junk in here, and if I'm looking for a clue, I might look up there and go like, oh look, antlers and deer, and there's another picture of a deer over here, so they must be saying something to me about deer, and then I start looking for clues for deer. That's a bad example, but that's kind of what happens is they throw a bunch of stuff at you that mixes with your past clues and then confuses you, and then you got to sort through the bullshit and find the one direction that will lead to another thing. Um, that's part of the trick, right? So a lot of the times it'll block a path. One of my other videos there you saw, it was like a zombie scene, and somebody pointed out to me that, well, when you get there, you find a letter. The lady outside who's dead, she's holding a letter, and it pretty much says that she's a jealous wife or something, and that she caught them cheating. And I'm like, you're absolutely right, but that's part of the trick. So what they've done there is they've given you 3 or 4 different clues that point towards one thing, but then they give you one big clue that pointed in a totally different direction. If you take that big clue that takes you in the other direction, the game's over. You just hit a dead end, right? That lady got jealous and she killed everybody. But if you look under the surface and you look at the details, well, that doesn't really add up, right? Like, why was she outside bleeding out from the back? Why was that one lady like pulled across the bed and her arm was bitten off? Like, it doesn't add up to a lover's quarrel with 2 women and a guy. It just doesn't. So that's part of the trick. You read the letter, game over, end of trail, I came to nothing. But then you dig a little deeper and you're like, okay, this actually points to something totally different. And that's what keeps happening here with me in this game. Is this the one with the guy in the mirror? Maybe it's not the one with the guy in the mirror. I don't know what it was. Yeah, that's his hat, isn't it? Oh, maybe I haven't met him in the game yet. Maybe you gotta meet him in the game first. Yeah, we got some pictures down here. I didn't take a look at these ones, I think. What we got here? Hard to see. Can't really see. It looks like somewhere in New Austin, though. Same with that one. Yeah, I'm gonna get better light for these, because this one's blank. That's weird. Okay, there you go. Now you can see him. Yeah, it looks like a ranch, I'd say, New Austin. And then that's just some New Austin landscape. And so that's another thing to think about here is if we got all these different areas on the map too are in these paintings. Water is black with venom. What did the other one say? Oh, I know you. I didn't see that one. Maybe that is Steve Martin's. I don't know. I'd have to look at his font again. I thought his was sloppier, like more like a rock. The moon will shine on in the darkness. Okay, well I missed I know, so now I'm thinking maybe or I know you. Maybe there's more. Okay, this painting too is the same kind of colors as that one. So I'm wondering if those connect somehow. A lot of spider webs, guys. A lot of spider webs. And you don't see cobwebs in the games too much, oddly enough. It's like the Abigail's or Aberdeen's stall. I know there's some cobwebs in there. And look at the frame too. That's a lot of detail. All right, you get. See what I'm saying? Something's up with this frame. None of the other ones are like that either. So whoever hung this thinks this painting is special. Because it's got the fanciest frame in here. And it's round too. Like, it's not easy to frame rounded paintings compared to the square paintings. So if they paid somebody, it costs them money. All right, well, this video is going long, so I'm gonna end it there, guys. But this is my process. I hope it's interesting. Please subscribe. I appreciate that a lot. It helps a lot. I know it doesn't really matter nowadays if you're subscribed to somebody, because the videos you want just show up in your feed. But as far as like creating videos and stuff goes, it's still a prerequisite here on YouTube. What is this? Okay, this looks interesting. I offered you happiness or 2 generations. Huh. You made your choice. You happiness or 2 generations. You made your choice. Okay, well that's something. And there's a map here, so I gotta figure out what this map is. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna end the video. I'll make another one if I figure out what the map has anything to do with. But please subscribe, and love you guys. Thanks.